What's up guys? In this video, I'm going to break down the sequence of returns risk, what it is, what it means, how it works, and more specifically, some risks that you need to be aware of and to watch out for when it comes to your retirement assets. So with that, let me shrink my face here, and then let's go ahead and dive into one of the charts that we have here on our retirement forecaster. This is a proprietary system that our team has and that we work with that shows a lot of awesome facts and really just, I guess, math. And so that's what we're going to be diving into here is the math on your retirement assets. And so one of the things I want to start by showing you is that this chart on the left shows the last 25 years of returns in the S&P 500. Okay, so this is exactly how the market would have returned on your money. And we're just starting with a nice round even number of $1 million in your retirement assets. And this would show you the ending balance per year as if all $1 million was invested into the stock market. Okay, and so you could see 2000 through 2002, we had 3 straight years of down years in the '01 bubble crash. And in 2008, we had the Great Recession. Everyone remembers the near 40% downturn in the market. 2011, the market was about flat. 2015, very close to the same. 2018, it was down 6%. 2022 was down 19%. So we'll talk more about those down years here in a few minutes. But one thing to notice and to keep in mind and consider here is that when we are looking at okay, here we go. So we're going to be able to look at the last 22 years. For some reason, there was a bug on the graph, but nonetheless, here's what I want you guys to see first. If you're starting with $1 million and you're not taking out any income, there are no withdrawals from either of these accounts, right? The return order does not matter because you start with $1 million, and in both accounts, you end up with 2.6 million. You can see here, it's not the case, maybe 10 years in, where on this chart, and isn't this crazy to look at? On this chart on the left here, you would have $855,000, while this chart over here on the right, you would have 3 million. Yet, with the sequence of returns, there's no difference by the end of the 22 years. Okay. Now, this math and the numbers would work out the exact same, even if we shrunk the timeline and just reversed the returns. But if we're looking at a 22-year time horizon, this is where they'd be exactly the same. Now, the safe withdrawal rate is the rate at which people can safely withdraw from their assets, from their retirement savings, so that they don't run out of money in retirement. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the sequence of returns risk, which actually, let me start by defining that and show you guys what this is. The sequence of returns risk refers to the danger of experiencing negative investment returns in retirement, which can significantly deplete a retiree's portfolio and potentially shorten the lifespan of their savings. This is because withdrawals during a market downturn can force the sale of assets at lower prices, leaving less money to recover when the market eventually rebounds. Or otherwise said, like you're taking a double loss and a double hit on your money. And here's what they mean. And let's start first with the chart on the left, looking at the real returns of the market over the last 20 years, but going back to the year 2000. You can see that if the market, and we'll just highlight the first year, you can see that if the market in 2000 is down and you withdraw 3.7% of your original starting amount, now you're taking out 37,000 and you lost 10%. So your balance is being deducted twice, once from the loss and then once from the income. And you can see here in this scenario, if you retired right at the year 2000, just 1, 2, 3 years into retirement, you took out $111,000, but your account portfolio balance is only at 533, right? And then if we scroll down to the end of the 22 years, your ending balance over here is 624, while your ending balance over here is 1.6 million. There is literally a $1 million difference. And the only difference in these two accounts, because they have the same growth, they have the same underlying index, which would be the S&P 500. The only difference is that the returns were inverted, meaning that over here you earned a negative 10% loss, You had a negative 13% loss, a negative 23% loss in the first 3 years. Over here, this is just in the last 3 years. And so this is very important to show you that the sequence of returns is a risk on your retirement. And if you watch this, this is a 3.7% withdrawal rate, actually based on your initial starting balance, right? And there's some people that don't want to abide by the math and don't want to abide by the rules. And maybe they think that they can go out and, oh, let's just pull a 5% return or maybe a 6% return for my safe withdrawal rate. And by doing so, let's just put 6% in. And by doing so, if you were to chase a 6% annual withdrawal, in this account on the left, 15 years into retirement, you are running out of money. Your account is going negative. While over here, you still could do it just because of the sequence of the returns. So it's a crazy concept and a crazy reality that a lot of retirees just aren't even aware of. And so this video is to educate you and to warn you about the potential sequence of returns and what it could have and what it could do to your retirement. Because you can see here, just based on the graph, there's a huge discrepancy. Versus, once again, if we take out any income and we just leave it at a 0% withdrawal rate, at the end of the 22 years, it's going to look wonky and crazy, but the order of your returns does not matter unless you're taking income, right? So, with that being said, one of the safe strategies that we help our clients out with are positioning some of their money out of the stock market and giving you some of the market growth with none of the market downside losses. And here's what I mean by that. If you did have $1 million in a retirement account A, which is the status quo, you invest in the stock market and you fully take the losses, you can see how your account balance would perform over time. While this account on the right over here, whenever the market is down or is negative, you have a 0% rate of return. You're not losing any money. However, when the market does go up and it's doing well, you don't take part in any of those losses. I'm sorry. When the market's going up, you don't get all of the growth, you get some of it. But once again, when the market corrects and goes back down eventually, like it usually always does, you can lock in any prior gains and that becomes your newly protected floor. This account that I'm specifically talking about is a form of an IRA, which just stands for an individual retirement account. And this is the form of a fixed indexed annuity. Now, there are many different types of annuities out there. I have other videos on my platform on my YouTube talking about the different types of annuities. Maybe I'll link that here. And so with that, there's many different types of annuities. This is one foundationally that is simply just for safe, protected growth. Some people may know annuities as only giving you income every month or every year in retirement. That is a form of a different type of annuity. That's an income annuity. But this fixed indexed annuity gives you principal protection with the upside of growth from a indexed, or you can choose from a fixed rate of return. The fixed rate of return is typically in the range of about what CDs are offering, but the index rates of returns, as you can see here, you could have some upside years of potentially where you hit 20% in a year, but over time they will average typically from 5 to 8%, which is what we like to base our projections and our estimates off of. And you can see with this account here, this would have averaged a 7.52% rate of return over time, while this one over here would have averaged about 5.90 being in the market. And you can see in this account, you would be about $2.4 million up compared to this one, should the math have worked out this way. So this is exactly what we help our clients with, is protecting their assets from the risks of the stock market and giving them some market-like returns when the market's doing well. If you want to learn more about fixed index annuities and if they would be right for you, because they're not right for everybody and they're not meant for the entirety of your portfolio, but they are a great alternative to your other safe money. Think of like bonds, money in checking accounts, in CDs, and so on. And so if you guys would like to schedule a time to chat more about that, I'll have a link below. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe and like the video if you did like it, and follow along as I'll be posting much more content and videos related to helping you retire better with retiring with less risk and potentially reducing your taxes. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.